Hello, 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 hello. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. I know you're worried. Don't be worried. Don't be worried. It's just one of those things. When there's a job at hand, we have to get it across and get it done. There's no any other way to that apart from do what you have to do. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Let's worry about the people who are actually trespassing our life, people who are taking us for granted, people who are taking us as a fool. That is what we need to deal with. My name is Ade Thomas from Heritage Television. I want to say thank you for joining me again, because obviously you know that I've been here all day today, but that is just what has to happen. Sometimes it has to happen. When you have something to do, don't leave it till tomorrow. Just get on with it. Get it done. Get it done. What are you worried about for? Guys, you know me, I just like to twist with you a little bit. I just like to wind you up a little bit. So, and that's exactly what I'm just doing this evening or this morning, because you might be morning, you might be evening, some people might be in the middle of the night. Well, where I am is middle of the night as well, but it doesn't matter. When there's something to do, there's something to do. Today, we're going to be talking about speak up. Speak up means speak up, speak up means speak up, and speak up means speak up. Speak up means speak up, and that is exactly what we have to do. We are speaking up for our people, we're speaking up for our brethren, we're speaking up for ourselves, and I'm speaking up for you guys. I'm speaking up for myself and my generation to come after me. Welcome to the program once again. My name remains Ade Thomas from Heritage Television in London. Today, I have a gentleman, a wonderful gentleman. I'm not going to tell you much about him. I watched a video this morning and I got drawn to this gentleman. It was in that video, and I glued to that 30 minutes video that makes me, what is this? And that's exactly what happened. Without much to do, without much to say, without winding you up or spicing things up like some people say, I would like to onto my screen so that you can see him. I'm not going to introduce him. I will want him to introduce himself. He's an adult. So that is why we call this program Speak Up, because he's actually going to speak up for himself. Oh, doctor, good evening, good morning. Hello, sir.
Good evening from Houston, Texas.
These are the people that carry guns? Texas?
No, we have the right to self-defense, and we have that right to bear arms. That's what makes United States exceptional.
No, this is the land of the cowboys?
Oh yes, of course, land of the cowboy, the land of the big trucks, and the land of the big houses.
Wow, some people are back already. I can't believe this. These people were here with me for 4 hours earlier on. Guys, I doubt you guys, because I don't know how you do it. Can you please introduce yourself to us, Mr. Texas man?
Thank you very much. Yes, my name is Clifford Iroanya. I originally come from a community called Aro Ndionyemobi. And Aro Ndionyemobi is in Oguta area. And Oguta is in Old Olo province. And this happens to be, sadly, I will use the word sadly happens to be in a place that Murtala Muhammad in 1976 unilaterally named Imo State without consulting the owners of the land. He drew up a map and called it Imo, and they ended up moving it from one document to the other, till it comes up in Section 3 of Nigeria's fraudulent 1999 Constitution. I am an oil and gas engineer of about 40 years experience, and I'm happily married with four. All of them graduate, and my wife is a medical professional. So I work in the biggest oil and gas midstream pipeline company in the United States, right here in Houston. And I'm a member of the Lower Niger Congress, which is a self-determination college of the peoples of the lower half of the Niger territory, or what you call the southeast and the south-south in the present day Nigeria. Again, my name is Clifford Iroanya. Thank you.
Guys, if you are reading and if you're watching on Facebook and you see the title wrong there, just bear with me. I'm changing it. I changed it before. I don't know why it reverted back to what it was earlier on. But the program is actually called Speak Up with Dr. Clifford Iroanya. Welcome to the show. So, you are...
Thank you.
God of mercy, why are people calling? So, I want to say a very big thank you for joining me on this program tonight. It's a pleasure to have you because I know you just finished work and then you have to run down for this very program. I want to say it's an honor having you on my set this evening or this morning, as some people will call it. Should we start from...
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure too.
When Muritala Muhammad wake up one day and just mango you into Imo State without consulting you. How old were you then that you want to be consulted then anyway?
I did not get the question again. Can you repeat that?
Okay. I said, let's start from where Muritala Muhammad wake up one day and lump you guys up into a place called Imo State. And I said, you said you were not consulted. Right? But how old were you then? Because even at that time, you're going to be a toddler.
When I say I did not, it doesn't mean me as a person. At least it doesn't mean for Chukwuemeka Iroanya. I'm talking about, people from my own community, people from the Uguta area, people from the Olu region. They were not consulted. And that is not how you create a state. Remember there were 3 regions prior to 1963. Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember that, yeah.
There was something called a plebiscite. The referendum was conducted to create a called the Midwestern region. It was put in, and the people voted. And it was approved. And then came the 4th region, which is the Midwestern region. So when I say consulted, I'm not talking about myself.
I like to wind people up sometimes, and I manage to actually wind you up properly. That is what is called the politics of life, and I've just played up on you. Anyway, I don't expect you to be consulted at that time because, like I said, but the stakeholders at that time should have been consulted. Is that not what you're implying? The stakeholder at that time should have been consulted.
Of course, what was agreed, the stakeholders were going into independence was that there will be 3 regions. There will be regional autonomy, and no region without consulting the people, the stakeholders, and subjecting it to a referendum or a plebiscite. And that was exactly what was done in 1963. That saw the creation of the Midwest, which is the present-day Edo and Delta states. But by brigade, the military officers from one end of the one section of the country, look at all the 4 army officers that created the states. They were all from one section of the country. They are all from the northern part. The northern we are all called northern Fulani Muslim. It's not just, I'm not just saying northern Muslim, Fulani Muslims. It's only Gowon. And Gowon did not even do that of his own volition. He was coerced. He was forced into doing it, thinking that he is working in cahoot with his fellow northerners. He didn't know that they will soon make him understand that he is a Talakawa. He's an infidel. And so it took 4 northern military officers to dismember Nigeria and kill the federation, because we entered into independence as a federation. Federation, meaning that the regions are autonomous and they federate. That is, they come together to form this, and that is why it's called a federal government, because you have the region federating to form the federal government.
So you're one of the people that want the federal government so that the federal could be in the basement and the regions can be upstairs, outside, because the federal should be lower and the region should be higher. Is that what you're saying, sir?
In a normal system, yes, but the way we are, the situation we are now, is that we have to go back and inquire from those federating units whose sovereignties, whose federating powers have been usurped, have been bastardized, have been truncated and mismanaged. You have to go back to them to ask them if they still want to reach, if they still want to refederate. We have a federation, and that federation was killed on the 27th of May 1967 through decree number 14. Decree number 14, May 7, 1967, killed, put the final nail in the coffin of the federating. So the federating units are dead. So the only solution now is to go to those that federated but they are now dead, to be asked again if they want to refederate. They must be asked that question at the regional level. Do you people want to refederate?
Okay. The way I see you calling this federate is if you've been saying this for a long time and you look at the people you are talking to as being deaf, that they cannot hear it unless you pronounce it that way. Am I right? You must have been saying and fighting for it for some time now, but still they're not listening. This is why you have to go this way. Let me just speak to the people at home quickly. Guys, I want to say a very good evening for you joining me again. You know what I fancy? I fancy to be in the pass mark of every class I am. So if I have 56 people watching, then I need 28 likes. At the moment, I got 11 likes. I told you that is why Murita Arab Muhammad was killed, and Buhari carried it. Okay, I want to thank especially some few people that I think they should be in bed, but they are here watching me because they've been here. You're here too, Tony. Thank you, guys. I cannot thank you enough because we're all doing this together. We're in this together. Today, I'm speaking to Dr. Clifford Iroanya, who is on my show, Speak Up. And we're going to have so many Speak Up program coming up lately because there are so many things we have to carry on doing. I want to thank everyone that are just joining me to say I love them and I really appreciate them coming on this show today. If you have not come, if you are not on the show yet, please log in and come and join me on the show. I will be sharing the link so that more people can actually join. Thank you, Mr. Dr. Clifford. So When you find out in 1967 that this happened, how long have you personally been fighting to redress this situation?
Me as a person, you mean?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's been all through my life, because I found out at an earliest age that I have already been put at a disadvantage. I remember sitting for the federal government college unity school exam, and I scored more than the northern counterpart. They were, offered admission. It goes on even at the point of getting into university. And then, of course, you have everything. You have it all over. And so I've been in it for a while. However, at a later stage, I found myself joining an organization that, initially was serious about self-determination for the eastern half. But when I begin to
Mr. Clifford, let's leave that side, because I think what we're looking for now is far bigger than that. I hope you understand that.
I'm giving you a line because you asked me a question. I'm giving you a storyline.
Go ahead then. Go ahead.
How did I start? What I've done?
How did you get into this? Yeah.
Where I am now.
Go ahead then. Go ahead.
Okay, and so I remained with this organization until I stumbled into Mr. Tony Nnadi of the Lower Niger Congress, and he provided documents and information, and I interpreted it, I reviewed it, deliberated on it, and also had some conversations with him, and I found out that a blueprint of how to get us out of the woods. And so I joined the Lower Niger Congress, and since then I think we've been making progress. So back to your question, yes, I have from the get-go been fighting this inverted system we have in Nigeria, and up to the point I encountered the Lower Niger Congress, and I am still, in it.
Wow. So, you are number 9 signatory in the Force Majeure Declaration on the 16th of December 2020. Am I right?
Yes, I am number 9 on the Igbo caucus.
Okay, fantastic. So, what do you think we can achieve with this Force Majeure so that people can know?
Yes, people who are agitating for one thing or the other, they need to know that what it is they are agitating. The list is endless. Those who are for a state of Biafra, those agitating for Niger Delta country, agitating for Dudua or Yoruba nation, those agitating for the Middle Belt, those agitating for control of their resources. There is a common denominator. There is a common block. There is a common showstopper. And that is that document called the 1999 Constitution. If you take that 1999 Constitution away, if you remove it, if it is trashed, decommissioned, if it is taken down or pulled down, then there lies the success of any of these agitations. And how will that happen? It will only happen the concerned people or work together, which is leading me now to the what we call the NINAS, Nigeria Indigenous Nationality Alliance for Self-Determination, which is a collective or a platform or what we call a coalition of the Middle Belt, the nation, and the Lower Niger Territory, which is the Southeast and the South-South, which is 75%. If you don't mind, let me first of all show you this. You know, if you look at this, you will see the Lower Niger Territory here. You see it right here.
Yeah.
And here, sorry, right here. And then is the Middle Belt. So these three, they combine together to form what is called the Alliance Territory. The Alliance Territory, which is the ash color, not the green. The green is the Sharia territory. Those people, they have already left Nigeria by courtesy of violating even Section 10 of their own constitution. So what have they done? The Alliance Territory, they have declared constitutional force majeure, meaning that, first of all, we did not even make this constitution to start with. You know, the constitution, making a constitution has two stages. Stage one is for the people to a union, and stage two is to now sit down and agree or write up the rules that will govern that union. None of this was done. The only time something like this was done was in 1963. Every other thing is by imposition and brigandage by one section of the section that already declared Sharia and out of Nigeria. So going back to what I was saying, these Alliance Territory came together and said that they declared the constitutional force majeure, meaning that they are no longer in their allegiance to this constitution, or they are no longer seeing this constitution as what holds the union together. Because you know that a constitution is what holds the union. That is what defines the union. Because first of all, like I said earlier, we did not make the constitution. Secondly, even the one they made by brigandage, by fraud, by illegal, they have violated. They have violated. Let me give you just 2 or 3 examples, Ade.
Yeah.
Number one, the shortest section in that that constitution is section 10. It says that Nigeria shall be a secular state, that there should be no religion. Now, 2 things happen. 1, 12 contiguous states came together and declared Sharia law, which is a religion, a religious law. 1. Number 2, as we speak, Nigeria is a ranking member. You know, when they say something is a ranking member, something is somebody or an entity is a ranking member, it means a senior, a very, very senior member. Nigeria is a ranking member of Organization of Islamic Countries. I always make this point whenever I mention this name. Forget about that thing they call, they say corporation, Organization of Islamic. No, it is very, there is a facade. They are just being cunning. They are just being biased. The correct name is Organization of Islamic Countries, OIC. Nigeria is a member of OIC. That again is a violation of the even their own fraudulent constitution section 10. And there are so many other examples, so many things that have happened that now made it very, very urgent, necessary, and critical that this alliance territory, we say time out, like we say in America, time out. Send this constitution, put it aside, and then go back to our people and ask them if they want to continue with this union. That's number one. And if yes, then we begin the process of constitution. Let me make this point very clear. Let me make this point very clear.
Yeah.
And anybody listening to me, if there is no point you will get from this interview, just get this one I want to say now. Constitution is, the power to make a constitution resides in the citizen. Let me repeat that. The power to make a constitution resides in the citizens.
Wow.
It is not. You must have. There was somebody I was having an interaction today just before this program. The person was talking about National Assembly. Let me make this point clear, and that is what I want every listener to go away with today in this interview. The point is, there must be a constitution first before you now have a National Assembly. I want to say that twice so that it will sink in. There must be a constitution first of all before you now have a National Assembly. Put in another way, it is the constitution that creates the National Assembly. It is the constitution that gives birth to the National Assembly. It is not the National Assembly that makes the constitution or that creates. It's just like saying the tail is wagging the dog. The tail does not wag the dog.
Yeah.
The dog that wags the tail.
True.
I'm spending time to make sure that I clear the mud, I clear the air on people who keep referring to National Assembly. If you go to section 47 of even this constitution, section 47 says that there shall be a National Assembly consisting of the Senate and the House of Rep, even before the National Assembly came into being. Remember, what we are talking about is constitution making. It is the citizen that make the constitution, and then from that constitution, modalities will be spelled out for election. It is from that election that people will be elected to become members of National Assembly. You don't form Assembly and then now use them to create a constitution. It doesn't go. It can't form nothing from nothing. Something from nothing. No, it doesn't work. There has to be a constitution in place. It is from that constitution that people will now form parties, contest election, and then be elected into House of Assembly. House of Representatives and the Senate. It is this House of Assembly and Senate that is now called the National Assembly, which is the point after creating the Constitution or after making the Constitution. So I want people to get this thing very clear. You hear them say, you have to go to National Assembly. Normally for what? Where there is no Constitution? They have to first. And the first majeure is saying that we do not have a Constitution. What we have is not a Constitution, it's a brigandage. Let me take your mind back, Ade. We had a Constitution, the 1963 Constitution, proper by the citizens and subjected to a referendum. The lawyer called it autochthony. It was autochthonous. There is nowhere in the world. This is the second point I want everybody listening to take home. There is nowhere in the world where you will make a constitution without sending it to a referendum. It never happened, except in Nigeria. And again, some people will give the excuse, well, it was a military regime, it was a military. But you remember very well that Ghana had a military regime under the late General Rawlings. I'm sure you're aware. Right? So, they had a military regime, Ghana, and they had a constitution, or a draft constitution, under a military regime. What happened? That draft constitution was subjected to a referendum. I think that was in 1994. It was subjected to a referendum. And that was what happened. The same thing under military, but under civilian in Nigeria. It happened in 1963. Nigeria had a constitution that was subjected to a referendum. Now, in 1966, the soldiers came in and suspended the constitution and started ruling by this and by brigandage. And then in 1975, Murtala Mohammed started thinking about return to civilian rule and felt that the country has need a constitution. But he went about it the wrong way. I think a year or two later, or a year later, he was assassinated.
Yes, a year later. Yeah.
And took over. And so, I know why I'm going this back, because I'm going to come to the 1999 constitution. Now, Obasanjo took over and continued with the process of constitution writing. But they turned it upside down. The constitution is supposed to start at the local level, the village level. There will be what is called town hall meetings at the village level. People will come, opinion, somebody will document it, they will review it. On the local, it goes to the community, the town level, or the local or zone. From there, it on the highest level. Must have full city participation. But Obasanjo and they brought in two people, two persons, two men, two gentlemen. Constitution for a country. You don't do that. And Professor Ben Wabeze, we are brought in a constitution for a country. And when they finish writing it, what did Obasanjo do? They elected some people and called them assembly members. And then from they sat. And even at that, the constituent assembly member tried to correct the situation by removing some of they put that very draft constitution. For instance, they said there were 19 states. Then it was 19 states. 19 states were created, and they did not do that with the consent of the people. Again, back to your question about consent of the people.
Yeah.
And also that was not the agreement that was reached going to independence, and that was a valid argument. So they removed that, and then the issue of social system. That was not what was agreed. What was agreed was the parliamentary system. They introduced the system which amassed so much power at the center. Like you see Buhari wielding power all over the place now.
Yeah.
And so many other things that they removed. But Obasanjo went back and made a national broadcast in 1978 and introduced 17 amendments to even the finished work of the assembly. And those 1917 amendment brought the thing back to what it was before the Constituent Assembly members were called. And to make matters worse, Obasanjo, using a decree, now proclaimed that that draft as the Constitution of Nigeria 1979 without subjecting it to a referendum. I just told you now that Ghana had a military regime, yet when they made the draft constitution, they subjected it to a referendum. Obasanjo did not subject the constitution to a referendum in 1978. And with a military fiat, the whole thing was, decreed into existence as 1979 constitution. 4 years after that, Muhammadu Buhari led military people to overthrow the government on December 31, 1983. You see? And then he had a long stretch of military government. And then in 1998, Abdulsalami Abubakar picked up a few individuals under the advice of Professor Wale Yadudu, and they call themselves Constitution Debating Committee. It's not even constitution making, it's a constitution debating. Those guys went around, stayed in a hotel, had some few bottles of beer, and came back and said that the whole Nigeria.
And do prostitution in the hotels.
You said what?
And do prostitution in the hotel.
I don't know about that, but
that's what they do.
They went around and came back and said that they have interviewed the whole Nigeria, that Nigerians said they turn to the 1979 constitution. In 1999, what they did was to, recommend a return to 1979 constitution with an amendment in the sense that, as at 1998, we already had 36 states. The 1979 constitution had 19 states. So they have to modify that. The number of local government areas have increased as well. And then they now have to bring in a lot of things about Sharia into it. And even, introduce some despicable things, like in section 162, where sharing of money generated will be done according to population, size of state, and then number of local governments.
Yeah.
So they did all those, and then through Decree 24, again, without subjecting the draft constitution, whatever they have, to referendum, without subjecting it to referendum, they use a decree and decreed it into existence for the second time. Meanwhile, 4 years earlier, Ethiopia, ordinary Ethiopia here, not ordinary, but Ethiopia here, 4 years earlier had a successful making of a new constitution. The same thing with Ghana, all subjected to a referendum. So why I went through this memory lane is for you to see that the last true constitution we had was 1963. The 1979 constitution was a brigandage and is fraudulent. It was imposed by Obasanjo and the team. There was no referendum. It was not subjected to any referendum. It was written by two people. Even a Constituent Assembly was handpicked by Obasanjo, and they went ahead and did a good job. Even though they were handpicked, they were not even selected. They were not chosen by their own people they represent. But they still went ahead and did a good job. And Obasanjo threw all their things into the dustbin and reverted back to the draft that was written by Ben Wapeze and Chief Rotimi Williams. And you decree, again, I keep repeating, without subjecting it to referendum. I know why I can say this 1 million times, because you have have a constitution coming into force without getting it to a referendum. In fact, if it is the only thing I'm going to say today on this program, I don't mind saying it and repeating it 1 million times. People will get tired of hearing it. But
people can't get tired because it's the fact. But there's a question that's actually popping up from that.
Saying it. You cannot bring a constitution into force without subjecting it to a referendum. It is not done. The only place it happened is in Nigeria. That was what they did in 1979. That was what they did 20 years later in 1999. So, the constitutional force majeure is saying that this has to stop. There have to be a chastening of that constitution, and that the federal government must come out and acknowledge that, look, we have goofed, we've made a mess. This constitution is not valid. Let's put it aside and then form a committee, a transitioning committee that will, work things out, do things the proper way, and then we move on, either as a refederated entity, or we have a confederation, or we have a non-federation. There are three options. Either we refederate, we confederate, or non-federate. So that is, in a nutshell, taking up your question about the constitutional force majeure.
Okay, that is how we get there. Can I say something that this is the first time someone explained this in depth, and I'm sure some of our listeners will see it as the first time that someone actually break it down. This is Nigerian Constitution to a layman, to a dummy. That is exactly what you've just done. You're from Nigeria? Am I right? Are you a Nigerian?
Yes. Yes.
The reason I asked that, in Nigeria, they have this father-master-children relationship. Maybe that is what all these people are trying to do then, that makes this goes this way. They are our children. Your father will come and say, you can't read law, you can't read cuckoo, you have to read law. And your brain cannot carry law. Your parents will come and say, you can't do something else, or you can't do a radiographer, you have to be a doctor. And your brain can only do a radiographer. All these things are happening. Could this be the problem? Father, master, children relationship that cause all this trouble? Dr. Clifford.
I'm sure you are speaking in relation to those who have been at the helm of affairs, or who have been calling the shots in the country, right?
Yes.
Yes. That is the problem we have, because the thing is this. Nigeria is a country. Nigeria is not a nation. There is a difference between a country and a nation. A country is a collection of nations, whereas a nation is a geographical entity with a common value system. A nation is a geographical entity with a common value system. So because Nigeria is a country and not a nation, we have two values in Nigeria. We have a value system where some people see themselves as master. I'm getting towards what question you asked me now, the explanation, because you even touched on something that to me personally. I had to spend 2 years trying to write JAM to pass for medicine, because my father wanted me to be a doctor, and that wasn't my calling, naturally. So the third time, he never knew when I bought JAM and filled in for engineering. And when I sat for the JAM, I scored the highest in that department. But he was insisting for those 2 years that I'm on medicine. Meanwhile, I don't have that capacity to do that, or I don't have that flair for it. So you're right when you talk about, some people say, look, I am the father, or I am this, you have to be my way or the highway. So that is the problem we have. We have in Nigeria a section of Nigeria that believe that they are born to rule. That's number one. Number two, they believe that all men are not equal. There are three value systems they have. One is that they believe that they are born to rule. Number two is that they believe that all men are not equal. Some are masters, some are slaves, and that they are the masters, and the rest of Nigeria are the slaves. Then the third one, which is more of faith, to kill anyone who is not of the same religion. And they see it as an insult or a sacrilege for somebody who is not of their ethnic stock and religious belief to be ruling them or to be the head. To them, that is unheard of. That is a big sacrilege. That section of the country with that value system, and then you have the other part from the middle belt, the alliance territory that I talked about, which is this one here, this alliance territory. These people are Republican in alliance territory. Thank you very much for pulling the map up. So where you see keep SAS, that's the section of the country that have this three value system, that all men are not equal, that they themselves are born to rule, and that they owe it a duty of faith to their God to kill the infidel and those who are not of the religious stock. Whereas where you have in this map that is showing now, the section of the country that has this NSAS section, they are Republican. They believe in equality of everybody. They believe that everybody is born equal, and anybody can aspire to any office, and that you have the freedom of religion, freedom of worship. That is the clash of civilization that Tony Nadi always talk about. Clash of civilization. And so that is the problem. That is why we are having this issue now. And that is why they cried the 1999 Constitution, of course, a photocopy of the 1979 Constitution, to make sure that they maintain their value system. That is why they gave themselves, they gave themselves a chunk of the 74 local government areas. They gave themselves a chunk. If you go to section 48 of the fraudulent constitution, you see where it talks about the number of senate. 3 senate passed. In fact, it is even in section 48 and section 49. Correct. They say 3 senators per state. So by having 19 states, they gave themselves a chunk of it. They gave themselves a chunk of the local government area. And so they that they have to operationalize, they have to practicalize their value system in Nigeria. And the only way to do it is put it in the Constitution. So the 1999 Constitution you're looking at is a document that supports the value system of that section in that map that says keep SAS. If you can pull up that map again for people to see. Yes, the 1999 Constitution is a document that maintains the value system of the people in the green section that says keep SAS. That's what the 1999 Constitution is all about. And that is why we are where we are today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me speak to people at home. Guys, if you're just joining me, I'm with Dr. Clifford who is been exposing the nitty-gritty behind the 1999 Constitution. He said it wasn't actually 1999 Constitution, it was 1979 Constitution, but the numbers of states we have then has actually increased. Therefore, they have to use some eraser and a cleaner. You know that cleaner thing we use in primary school to try and rub some few things. And I actually explained that these people who are going to hotels to try and rewrite the Constitution is some few men they put together. And you know what they do? Instead of doing the Constitution, they were going to hotel, having some beers, drinking, spending money, traveling expenses, and womanizing. Don't say I did not tell you. They were actually womanizing. And someone said Obasanjo has just come out from prison, so he was too weak to his prisoner was confused. He could not read through the 1999 Constitution because he was weak. And I think there was a statement that came out later on that said he didn't actually see the Constitution until he was in office. He has actually swear to defend that Constitution before he actually see the Constitution. You see, Obasanjo is not a lawyer. So I won't call my daddy because he is I don't know what to say about that. But if you're just joining us for the first time in your life, if you're a newcomer, if this is your first time on this platform, please, I'm begging you, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't only subscribe. You know that bell like that thing, yeah? Make sure you hit that bell thing, because at the moment I'm hungry. I'm failing exam. I'm only getting 1/5. I'm getting 1/5 because if 126 people were watching and I've only got 30, I haven't passed. Have I? I need 63 to pass the numbers of people watching. So I've only got 31. So at the moment, you guys are making me fail. It means what I'm doing is not right. What I'm doing is technically not good. It means what I'm doing is not palatable to your ears. It's not what you want to watch. So if you're here for the first time, if you like what you're saying, if you like the way Dr. Clifford break down this history, well, it's an engineer, he said, right? And if not, I would have said maybe he's a biologist, so he managed to dissect, cut it into. Maybe he likes to use knife and fork to eat his chicken, and he knows where the bone, the soft bone in the chicken is, so that he can actually go there and pieces all those soft bones with his fork, because he's done justice to this 1999 Constitution the way he has actually explained everything. I am one of the most happiest person, because before April last year, I wasn't involved in this politics and all the other things. I was just a technical guy behind sets and things like that. But when they dragged me in, nobody, even Tony Nandi, has not given me all these lectures that this man has managed to cramp into my head. And you know what? He gave it to me in a layman language. So it wasn't difficult to put in the brain at all. When he was throwing the ball, I was just getting everything and catching everything, because the man break it down. So maybe I need to ask him if he's a teacher. Are you a lecturer by chance?
No, I'm not a lecturer at all. I'm an engineer, an oil and gas engineer.
Yeah, maybe you teach oil and gas, because not the oil and gas they have in Nigeria though. That oil and gas in Nigeria is fraudulent.
It's something, but it's poorly managed over there.
No. The oil and gas is Yahoo plus plus. Okay, now we understand all this. These people that did this, you know why they did it? They were greedy. Greediness run in their system. And when Obasanjo was trying to go for his third term, he rubbed the greediness and put salt and cement it with concrete so that the greediness will be permanent. Because that is when they they gave all these legislators more money, far more money than they deserve. Instead of becoming a civil servant, they become master. Because I can't imagine a state collecting millions of money every month and nothing is being filtering to the masses. A couple of days ago, I saw something in the press whereby they budgeted billions of naira for food. What do they need billion naira to buy food for? What kind of food are they buying? Are they buying human skull? You understand? So how do we now? These people are greedy. They used to this luxurious life they're having. They're so used to it, and to give up this is not going to be easy. Because lately, I found out one thing in the last 24 hours. The Fulanis are coward. And I'll tell you why I say that. Right? If they're not coward, one man went to Igogo to go and threaten, and they're doing a runner already. You understand? The problem we have in the South is that this is the first time we're agreeing, our mouth is, we're collaborating together. How strong are these collaborators to make sure somebody will not go and grasp them, or somebody will not go and sabotage what we're doing? How strong is this collaborator of the NINNS? Yeah, freedomfromnigeria.com people. How trustworthy are they, in your own opinion?
Yeah, thank you, Ade. First of all, let me take you back to the MNN, LSC MNN alliance partner. This started way back in 1999 when suddenly a document cropped up called a constitution by virtue of decree. Again, I keep repeating and repeating and repeating, was never subjected to a referendum. If it is the only thing anybody can take away from this interview today, I will be very happy. This document called 1999 Constitution was never subjected to a referendum. And then the MNN, LNC MNN Alliance began to make the contact, and they laid out a program, a 20-year program, that was actually supposed to have terminated or reached the climax in 2019. But part of the problem was that some of the people from the Fulani side, on the northern side, that were part of this very movement, now left them and started doing Sharia. So he kind of played a drawback. They suffer some setback, and so but they keep moving until now that we have this declared. But now going back to your question, if you look at the signatories of that constitutional force majeure proclamation, we call it is a sovereignty dispute. If you look at those who signed it, you find out that they are very, very reliable people with high integrity. That was why, or that is why it took so long, so a long time to get to the point of unveiling it or making it public. Now, yeah, you see what we're looking at on the screen now. It shows a 20-year program. In fact, it's 21-year program. If you look at it from 1999 all the way to 2020, and then of course it spilled over to 2021. So I mean, you find out that it took a lot of time. People interrogated it, questioned it, and became convinced to the point of no return. Look at the signatories. These are men that their names are at stake. They will never put their name or their signature on anything that is fraudulent or anything that is haphazard. These are people who cannot be bought by money. So, in answer to your question, I will say yes. These are people that will put their hand on the plow and never look back. Therefore, I am confident. I am very, very confident that those who sign that document are going to stand by it and they will follow through to the very end. Are they?
Wow, wow. Let me go to. There are some people that sign documents, i.e., intelligent people. There are still some intelligent people who are still clamoring for things to continue like this. In Yoruba land, in Igbo land, all they running around for now is our turn. It's our turn to govern. It's our turn to go to Abuja to share the money. It's our turn to embezzle money and award contracts and don't execute it. It's our turn. What amazes me is that if it's not a Fulani man in power in Abuja today, maybe there would have been a coup. Or if there's still money in Nigeria, maybe they might still go for a coup. But they know now that there's no more money. Even if you go for a coup now, you're going to suffer because there's no money in there. It's affecting the Nigerian embassies outside Nigeria. They want to start selling government properties so that they can finance their own pocket. They can line their pockets. If you remember, there's a gentleman that just been appointed to a post. This gentleman stole money, a lot of money, and refunded some back and wrote a letter of apology for this money that was stolen. And the man has been forgiven. If you look, our cultures are not even the same. We have different mentality. How can they be giving money, millions of naira, to repentant Boko Haram and ILOS boxes? But they're killing the Niger Delta militants that are being punished for their own thing. You took my food and yet you're punishing me when I complain. But the people that don't have anything are the people that you're rubbing your hand on their head. So these people are very, very greedy set of people. Both the Fulanese greedy people and the Southern greedy people. Our elite, our so-called elite, invited comers. These people are themselves, most of them, apart from few of them, are pure illiterates. Because instead of going to school, the school went through them. They didn't go to school. They didn't went through no schools. Because when you look at Buhari, when he left office the first time and he came back, what did he do in between? Did he go for any top-up education? That now his WAEC result is even a problem. So these people are so greedy and they will use any means to cling onto power. Apart from the wrangling and para that's going on in Yoruba land today. If that is not going on, do you think they will ever want to live under any circumstances? Your take.
No, they will not leave at all. And that is why we are calling every conscientious person from that British contraption called Nigeria. Every person that has the make of humanity, any person that has conscience, any person that cares about your fellow human being, if you want excellence, if you want things done, if you want security, if you want peace, if you want progress, if you want unity, if you want good education, anything that is life, if truly you desire it, and you desire that people should not be killed or any negative thing, the only thing you have to do is to help pull down that 1999 Constitution. That is the one and the only source of all our woes, of all our problems. And then you talked about, people being greedy, people being selfish and all that, stealing money. The enabler, the thing that enables them is that constitution. That is what is enabling them. Today that the Fulanis are boasting, even making demeaning comment about the governor of Ondo State, calling him one Rotimi Akeredolu, referring to him like, I don't know, like a truck pusher or something. What is giving them that confidence is because of that constitution. That you have the headsmen today, killing people, is because somebody has authorized firearms for them and stops you from carrying firearms. I appeal to everybody listening to me, even if you are not a Nigerian, even if you are an American, a white man, a European watching this program, what I want you to do is to lend your support to the Middle Belt and the southern part of Nigeria. That is, I don't know if you may pull that map up, but let me show this. If you are not a Nigerian, if you are maybe a Briton or an American or an Asian and you are watching this program, you see that portion that says End SARS, the gray color portion, not the green side. They are the ones that are saying that the Nigeria's fraudulent constitution must be pulled down. They are saying the right thing. They are saying the correct thing. The only way to end problem in Nigeria, the only way to end all these problems, the wars and corruption and greed and everything, is to pull down that 1999 constitution. If that 1999 constitution is pulled down and set aside, then we the citizens of Nigeria will craft a new constitution. But before we do that, we now ask the various ethnic nationalities, do you want to continue in the union? That is the first thing. Before I go there, let me expand more on what I said earlier. I said that constitution making is a two-stage process. It's a two-stage process. And remember, I want our listeners to remember that it is the citizens that make the constitution. They have made the constitution, approve it through a referendum, that you cannot talk about National Assembly, House of Rep, and Senate. So it is the citizens that make the constitution. In other words, if you want to blow small grammar, and then you say it is the constituents that constitute the constitution. Again, constituents, they constitute the constitution. That's why it's called a constitution. That's the constituent, they come together and they constitute the constitution. That's the make the constitution. Who are the constituents? The ordinary citizen, you and I. As at the time of making a constitution, there will be no National Assembly. There will be no House of Rep. There will be no Senate. It is after the constitution has been made and the electoral process is set up, election happens, and people are elected, then you now begin to talk of National Assembly. That's one. Now, the other, going back to what I was saying, constitution making is a two-stage process. The first stage is to agree to come together to form a union. And that is why every constitution has a standard language for every constitution. Go and pick it up. U.S. Constitution, Ghanaian constitution, Ethiopian constitution, Indian constitution. Pick it up. The language is the same. It starts with a preamble. Of course, maybe you don't know this. A constitution has three components. You have what is called the preamble, you have the main body, and then you have the schedule. Okay? The preamble, the main body, and the schedule. The preamble is composed of two portions. The preambles have two portions. And those two portions define the two stages. You must finish stage one before you go to stage two. Stage one, that the various nationalities or regions or constituents, that they must first agree to be together to form a union. They remember what they say in the Bible, that can two work together unless they agree?
No.
Two cannot work unless they agree. So for there to be a union, you and I, we must first agree before we form a union. It's just like a husband and a wife. They must first agree now before they become a couple, isn't it?
Yes.
So that's one. The constituents, the various portions of that geographical entity, they must first agree before to form a union. That's stage one. Stage two is now they now have to, after agreeing, they now come and sit down together and then write the rules and regulations that will guide them. Is the constituent don't agreed that we write it? It is not two persons, Rotimi Williams and Ben Wabweze. No. Those ethnic nationalities, the citizens, the mere ordinary citizens, they will sit together and write the agreement. It's called the union agreement. A constitution is a union agreement. They have to sit together and agree, say, okay, we will have this, this will be this will be that. This is how we are going to do this. We will have this region, this region area, this region will cover this area. We will have this kind of security. The security will be localized. A few of them will be spread. They will agree on all those things. And even after doing that, they will still have to put it to vote. I keep repeating this. It must be subjected to a referendum. Any constitution that is not subjected to a referendum is a fraudulent constitution. And that's why you see me, I keep repeating, using the word fraudulent constitution, because the 1979 constitution was fraudulent. The 1999 was fraudulent. We are not subjected to a referendum. So those two stages, one is agreement to form a union, two, agreement to write the rules. Write the rules and agree the rules should be. Those are the two stages of a constitution making process. And you must finish before you go to stage two. You don't just jump and start stage two. So the opponent must agree first that there will be anyone that doesn't agree, you push that one aside. Those who agree, they agree, and then they will go to the next stage.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be. And that is why the constitution has two components in the preamble. It says, like the front here I'm looking at, it says we the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, having firmly and solemnly resolved to live in unity and harmony and indivisible and indissoluble under God. You see what I'm talking about?
Yes.
He said that having a solemn, that means we have agreed to live together. That is to form a union. You see, that is the first part. Then the second part, he said, and to provide for a constitution for the purpose of promote government and welfare of all persons. You know, it says, make and enact and give unto ourselves the following constitution. That means they agree to make it, they agree to enact it, and they agree to give it to themselves. In fact, this third part is the referendum part, is the referendum part of it. The second part is to provide to write it. The first part is say we agree to a union. Then the second stage is say we now write this union. We now write this agreement. Now the third part here is with the referendum part. He said that we hereby make, enact, and give to them. So that is the situation, my dear brother. You know, you cannot continue this way. We have to go back to the drawing board. And that is going through the normal process of constitution making, which is a two-stage process. And this two-stage process, I must repeat, for those who are joining this program for the first time, or those who forgot what I said, this two-stage process, one must in orderly form, that you do stage one and then stage two. Secondly, and more importantly, it is done by the citizens, the constituent. Because as at the time of this constitution making, there is no legal body called National Assembly.
Yeah.
It is making the constitution. In fact, it is during the process of the constitution making that inside the constitution, they will now have a provision for National Assembly during the time of writing the constitution.
Okay,
during the writing of the constitution that the National Assembly provision will be inside it. It is you don't have a National Assembly waiting already somewhere and then the constitution process will start. No, it is after the constitution has been made that you now begin to operationalize, do the things that are in that constitution. And one of the things in the constitution is that there will be a National Assembly. So it is the constitution that is pregnant now.
Yeah.
Give birth to the National Assembly. I know why I keep saying this, because I'm sure maybe somewhere, somehow, one day somebody is going to argue with you. Look, we have a National Assembly. Let them go and make constitution. No! National Assembly is a product of the Constitution. It is the Constitution has been made that the National Assembly will now be in existence. It does not come before before. So because we don't have a constitution, because this one is a fraud, because this one was not proper, there is not supposed to be any National Assembly yet. Therefore, the constitution making as was proposed or demanded in the constitutional force majeure, will have to be done by outside of the current existing National Assembly, which is a product of the 1999 fraudulent constitution. Let me ask anybody who is making this argument, how did the current Senate and House of Representatives come about? Where did they derive their power? Is it not in section 48 and section 49 of the Constitution?
Yeah.
The 1999 Constitution? And so, in fluid dynamics, in hydrodynamics, there is an equation, something called a continuity equation. It says that if A is equal to B and B is equal to C, it means that A is equal to C. Because A is equal to B and B is equal to C. Therefore, A is equal to C.
Yeah.
What am I going with that? If the Constitution, 1999 Constitution is a fraud, and that Constitution gave birth to the National Assembly, it therefore means that the National Assembly is a fraud. It's very simple.
Okay, hold it there.
We did not make this Constitution.
Okay, hold it there. I need to speak to people at home quickly because I want to test their knowledge to make sure they're following what we're talking about. The first thing I want to say is 46 like, 135 people working. Who are the people that are not supposed to be here? Who has not paid to be on this program? Because if you've paid to be on this program, your pay is the like button. Subscribe to the channel, please. Like the program if you like it. If you don't like it, please give me a thumb down. If you like it, please do me a favor. Give me a thumb up so that I know that what I'm doing, you're enjoying it. Let's get it rising. Thank you, the 2 people that have just liked it. Yeah, let's get it going. Let's get about at least 65. I need at least 65 or 70 like before we continue. I want to thank all the people who are actually like the program. 54. Let's get it up, please. Another 11 will do me, please. If you don't like it, give me a thumb down. You have a right to do it the way you want to do it. Love it, up. You don't like it, down. Let's get it on. Gabriel, thank you for joining. First thought, Akinsoji, thank you. I've seen you've been very busy since. Odudu has arrived, thank you. Fatai Aderoju, my one and only brother from Lishabi. And Nancy, thank you. I need to correct something. Some people say this force majeure is clamoring for one Nigeria. No. I get so many information from this gentleman, Dr. Clifford, today. And one of the things I got is that it said, first of all, the Constitution is what is tying these 3 people together. If you bring it down, then we need to now ask each region, do you want to continue in this, or you want to go your own way and do your own thing yourself? I'm sure that is a fair analysis of what's going on. Please, let's get the like rise up a little bit more. And for your information, you can actually subscribe to this channel and hit the bell notification so that every time we have a program like this, which is nearly every day, you can get a notification. Even if you don't watch it straight away, you can always get the notification there and get to go back and watch it. 62 people from 137 watching. I am still below average. I'm still a failure. If you don't want my Oga to say, Ade, your program was a failure yesterday, you need to help me and get it to about at least 67 now. 67 now. Please, 67. And it will make it better. Make it 70 so that when it rises again, I will not have to come back to you quickly. 64 at the moment, please. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. The people on YouTube, Facebook, because it's England, I don't have. I can see some thumb up, dancing thumb up on Facebook. I want to thank everybody who's been giving me thumb up on Facebook. 1960 Constitution is the people's constitution and hasn't been set aside by the people at time. The military crooks that wasn't elected came and forced aside. The 19th Constitution is still stand. Thank you. The people are greedy and criminals. What's the next step after 16th of February? Actually, 16th of March, not 16th of February. The Amatekun are doing a great job in sacking those Fulani Esman terrorists kidnapping in the southwest, southeast, and southeast. Must also follow through with this. I had a very reliable information that most 80% of the kidnapping that happens in the south in the last 5 years is been orchestrated by this man, the man the Gagon. So, and most of the ransom find his way back to him. Thank you very much, Stephen. You rock too, my brother. At least we've been together for a long time today. Remember, Tony Namdi might be coming tomorrow. We haven't finalized the deal yet. We're still working on the nitty-gritty of it. So what we're talking about is not about one Nigeria. We're talking about how to make things better. You see, when I say 70, you didn't make it 70. It's gone to 147. So I need another 3 or another 5, because in a minute it's going to be 150. Let's get that 5, and then I have a video to show you guys. But without that 5, I'm not going to show you that video. I need to show you that video so that we can understand what's going on. Whoever loves me, whoever likes what I'm doing, likes the program, please, guys. Let's get 5 quickly. 5 so that we can continue. 5. I need 5. I need 5 on YouTube. I need 5 more likes on YouTube, guys. I need 5 more likes on YouTube, please. No more. We want to move on from usurpation of authority. I don't know what that. YouTube is 69. No, it's now 71 now. 71 now. Another 4 to make it 75. We're together, bro, for this struggle. Yes, we're together. We can't do it alone. We have to be together. We have to be together. If you really love what I'm doing, we don't like slavery government. We want everyone to develop at their own pace. Oh, Samson Toda. Wow. Please like the program. Give me 72, sir. Welcome to the program. Did you watch the one earlier on? That was super. That was hot. If you missed the program earlier on at 5 o'clock, you need to go and watch. It was from 6 o'clock to 9:30. It was a big, massive marathon. And before I forget, everybody that support the GoFundMe for Yoruba Nation, Yoruba Rescue Fund, I want to say a very big thumb up for you guys, because you managed to raise £1,000 for me this evening. I want to say thank you to everyone that contributed. I want to thank those people that didn't contribute as well, because Christmas is not every day. Sometimes you have money, sometimes you don't have money. So if you haven't contributed, please go back and do your own bit. And so many people has actually come back there since that time to make their own contribution. I want to thank everybody who has done that so far. Now I'm gonna go back to my guest, but Doctor, let's have a look at this video, because this video will educate our people more. Let's have a look at it.
I dare to tell this nation today that this is the problem. This constitution can never give us progress. This constitution can never give us peace. This constitution can never give us unity. And unfortunately, most of us in this National Assembly, we don't have the spine to face what we need to give this republic to have peace and progress. What do I mean? This constitution has 68 items. 68 on the exclusive list. This constitution has only 12 on the concurrent list. And those 12 are written so nebulously, so fraudulently, that you know that the intention is to even undermine those concurrent lists. The formal name of this republic is Federal Republic of Nigeria. Unfortunately, we don't run a federalist system in Nigeria. Otherwise, what is so unique about all those things that are in the exclusive list? In this chamber, we try to federalize the police system. In this chamber, we failed. Every crime is local, and the solution to every crime is local. The earlier that senators in Nigeria summon the courage to say, we should not continue to deceive ourselves.
We should not continue to deceive ourselves. We've been deceiving ourselves for so long. That is what you're fighting for. Did you get that federal from this man, Mr.
Yes, of course. You remember when I started? I said, we are supposed to have a federal system, the federating unit to form the government. In fact, what we have is what is called inverted federalism. Inverted. I'm trying to look for a shape of a. Let me get something here to show you what I mean. A shape of a triangle. You know, this is a triangle here.
Yeah.
You see, this is a triangle. You see, this is a triangle that is supposed to be like this. Now, what we have is like this, inverted. So we have a federal system or inverted federalism. Senator Adeye was actually, he started up with Nigerian motto. You know the motto, M-O-T-T-O. Nigerian motto is peace, unity. That's what it is. So, but he's saying that the fraudulent 1999 constitution cannot give us peace. It cannot give us unity. And it cannot give us progress. The 1999 constitution is the problem, is the source of the problem. All the problems we have, and it's true. And he was actually talking about section 4, subsection 2 of the constitution, and section 4, subsection 4. Section 4, subsection 2 is where you have the exclusive list. Remember I told you that the constitution has 3 parts. You have the preamble, you have the body, and then you have the schedule. The schedule is where the details are explained on the body, because everything will not be in the body. Otherwise, it will be too voluminous. So in section 4, subsection 2, it made reference to schedule 2, part 1 of the constitution, which is the 3rd part, which is the schedule. So you have section 4, subsection 2, referencing schedule 2, part 1. Schedule 2, part 1 now have the 68 items. Many of them are not supposed to be in that schedule 2, part 1, which by the way is, another name for it is exclusive list. Federal exclusive list. That means something that is only the federal government will do. The state government must not touch those items. And then let's take example, something like registration. Something as mundane, as simple as registering a business name. If I want to register any business name here in Houston, I just drive the street where I am. The next street there is where you have the courthouse. I just go there and register my business name. For my county, in front of all, for my city and then my county. Not even the state of Texas. But for you to do any business name registration in Nigeria, you must go to the federal government. Something as simple as that. Electricity is there too. You cannot generate, transmit, and distribute electricity. It is in the exclusive list. And that is why they don't have power. Electricity, what is electricity generation? Electricity is just bringing a magnet, bringing 2 magnets, North Pole and South Pole. If you bring them close together, it generates what is called electromagnetic field. When you get a metal, a rod, iron, anything, and go through in between them and cut through that electromagnetic field, you generate electricity. That's simple. It's an old technology. And they couldn't generate electricity. Why? Because it is in the exclusive list. It is exclusively in the hand of the federal government. Whereas here in developed countries, government has nothing to do with power generation, transmission, and distribution. They only make laws to regulate, make sure it is environmentally safe, and that customers are not exploited price-wise. This is it. That is it. And you have 24 hours, 7 days a week power supply. Something as simple as power distribution, generation, distribution, and transmission. Easily, I can go on and on and on and on and on. And because of these things that are in the exclusive list, you cannot have progress. Where there is no light, there is no progress. And you're talking about unity. The port in Lagos has never been headed by a Yoruba man. From inception till today, he has always been a northern Muslim man. Not just a northern Muslim man. that is always heading the port in Lagos, in a Yoruba land. And you are talking about unity? How can you get a unity for goodness sake in that kind of situation? You talk about peace. The herdsmen, the people rearing cow, they carry automatic rifle, AK-47.
Yeah.
If they see you with a pistol, ordinary pistol, that cannot go very far, if they see you with a pistol, you will go in for it. And you are telling me there will be peace. You have people who are killing people, herdsmen, killing people, and Abubakar Malami cannot make a court order or go to court and get an order to declare them terrorists. But you have people from the eastern part who are clamoring for self-determination without any arm. Suddenly you declare them a terrorist organization. Well, how can you get peace? How can you get unity? How can you get progress under this kind of situation? Why? Because there is a constitution fraudulently made, and which has in section 4, subsection 2, what is called exclusive list, which is further detailed in section, schedule 2, part 1, which has 68 items. Number 45 on that 68 has to do with policing and security agency. And you heard what Senator Professor Adeyeye said, that all crimes are local. There is no way now, if I'm an armed robber now, I will just go straight to Adekiti and start robbing. I have to have somebody who knows that place. A local, collaborate with them before I'll be able to successfully rob there. That's what he meant by crimes are local. Now you bring a northern Fulani Muslim man to become commissioner of police in Anambra State, or in Abia State, or even in Oyo State. Whereas we have people capable of doing the job that can be sourced from the state if the policing is within the authority of the state governor. So that is the problem we have here in this very nebulous and fraudulently written constitution. So the only solution, again I repeat, is taking down this constitution, because that is the source and the sole source of our problem. Yeah. Anything you want to talk, I can point to you. If you know of any problem, or tell the people watching, let them type and tell you one problem. I'll tell you where it is in the constitution. Any maladies, any of the woes that you know that is bedeviling that country, I will show you where it is in the constitution.
Wow.
It is not leadership, because people say, all we need to do, let's put a leader, let's put a God-fearing leader. Is Osibanjo not a pastor? Is he not a pastor? In Redeem, for that matter. Oh. What has he done? You cannot do anything. Your hands are tied as long as that document is concerned. By the way, let me make a correction to one of the comments in the, I think that one is in Facebook. Somebody talk about 1960. The last constitution we had was 1963, not 1960. And I have it here with me. This is the last constitution before the military stock. 1963 constitution. It's not. So it's not about the leadership. It's not about election. I know very well that South Africa was conducting election right from when apartheid started up up to 1994 when it ended.
Yeah.
They were conducting, they were having elections, and somebody will win and continue. But yet they have apartheid movement. I mean, apartheid situation in that country. So for people to think that if you conduct election, you have suddenly democracy, and everything is good and dandy. No. And another thing is that anybody who even get elected, even me today, as I'm talking to you now, if I get elected today as whatever, is it governor or is it president, is it senator, there is nothing I do, because for me to take over office, for me to start acting or be in that position for my election, I have to subscribe to Schedule 7 of the Constitution. Anybody that is elected in Nigeria under the 1999 fraudulent constitution, for that person to start being active, for that person to assume office, the person must subscribe to Schedule 7 of the Constitution. And Schedule 7 is the oath of office and the oath of allegiance. And it says that you must defend, protect, and preserve this 1999 fraudulent constitution.
Wow.
So me now being elected now, let's say you elect me now as president of Nigeria. The first thing for me to act, the first thing I must do is to swear an oath of allegiance and oath of office. That I must defend the constitution. I must protect the constitution, and I must preserve the constitution with all my power. And money being generated in from Lagos port, that money goes into the federation account. According to section 1, subsection 1, subsection 2, if that constitution, if that money is to be shared, because all the money generated, apart from Ministry of External Affairs and then I think the military, every other money generated they all go into the federation account. And then at the end of the month, that money is shared. So let's even take the Lagos port now. The money, the billions generated from, or million, hundreds of millions generated from Lagos port is put in the federation account. If they want to share it now, they will share that money under 3 conditions. One is the population of that state. 2 is the geographical size of that state. And 3,
the local government.
Is number of local government areas in that state. So now look at Lagos, look at Kano. Lagos port generated 200 million as an example. I'm just giving an example. And now they put it into the federation account. Now it's the end of the month. It's now time to come and share the money. Are you telling me that Lagos will get the same amount with Kano under these 3 conditions?
No. Kano will get more.
Kano will get more. So if I am a Yoruba man now, I am a pastor, I am a good man, everything, and I become the president of Nigeria. At the end of the month, we want to share money from Lagos, money generated from Lagos port. Then I cannot help Lagos. I can't help them, because if I do anything outside of the constitution, it's ground for impeachment. So even like me, I'm a governor, or I'm a minister, or there's nothing I can do. So what is the solution? The solution to take this constitution down. Then let's go stage process of constitution making. And that brings me where somebody says that the constitutional force majeure is about one Nigeria. You've already highlighted on it, but I need to re-emphasize. Please, ladies and gentlemen, watching this program, constitutional force majeure is not about one Nigeria. Let me say it the second time so that it will sink, because there are a lot of people peddling rumors. Even before now, they have called Tony as a one Nigerianist. That Tony Nadi, Tony Nadi is working with the Nigerian government. But I'm sure they are doing it when they have, after seeing the constitutional force majeure. The constitutional force majeure is not about one Nigeria. What it is a proper process of agreeing on the social contract, otherwise called the constitution. We are talking about generating a brand new constitution through this two-stage process. I need to re-emphasize this because some people will now cut what I said. Oh, they are talking about a new constitution. I said a new constitution through the two-stage process. They will not add this two-stage process that I said, though. The only thing they will not cut off now is that I said new constitution. They will say that I said two-stage process. Two, the first one is to ask the constituent if they still want to continue with one Nigeria, if they still want to continue with the union.
Okay, Doctor, I'm going to have to stop you there because of time. Our time is fast spent and we're running out of time gradually. Before we go, I'm going to ask you one more question. Have you ever called Tony Mr. Mark before, or one Nigerian man before, Tony Nandi? Have you ever, at any time, think Tony is just a Mark man or Mr. One Nigeria?
No. Of course, because it is not. And let me say this before you go. It's very important I say, if you are looking for self-determination, let me even be more direct now, so that there's no need speaking in tongues or going around words. If you are looking for Biafra, if you are looking for, your journey starts and end with a map. If you say you want a referendum for self-determination, the first question is, where is the place that you want your self-determination? Show us. And what does that mean, Ade? You have to bring a map.
Yeah.
When you eventually get your country, your self-determination, assuming you eventually get it, you have to have a boundary with neighboring countries. Okay, they give you Biafra. You say, okay, Sokoto is the capital, or the capital of Biafra is in. No! You have to have a map. Even after you have declared your independence, the world bodies, United Nations, other countries, we have to know where is your Biafra, where is it? They will point at a map. They will use a map to know where Biafra is. So I know why I'm saying this. Your self-determination, the evidence you are looking for, the sovereignty you are looking for, it starts with a map and it ends with a map. In fact, it doesn't even end with a map. It continues with a map, because today, when people want to refer to Nigeria, they look at the map of Nigeria that has been in existence since 1914. When you talk about United States now, they look at the map. When you talk about Cameroon, you look at the map. Even the Amazonians that are agitating, they have a map already. And when they are done, when they get their independence, they will draw their map. Also, you cannot run away from it. It's just sheer folly. If I put it that way, I don't want to use some harsh word, but it's just sheer folly that some people make fun or ridicule of the world map. But I know that inside them, within them, their conscience, they know what they are doing. They know that they are just trying to be mischievous. You cannot go through a self-determination or sovereignty or independence quest without identifying where you are talking about.
Yes.
And the only way it is through a diagram or something, a footprint. It is called a map.
Okay, before we finally, I will probably liken your map to when you have a plot of land. You want to know your boundary. You have to have something on paper that shows everybody
Exactly.
where you stand.
Yes.
Can I have your last word on this program today before we go finally, sir? Your last word in summary,
Yeah,
very, very brief.
Thank you very much, Ade, for giving me this opportunity. And I also look forward for more opportunities like this. Ladies and gentlemen that have been here patiently listening to us, I thank you for your time, your patience. I want to leave you with these words. First of all, that all our woes, all our problems, they come from this document, which is the Constitution of Nigeria. What is it that you are looking for? Are you looking for independence? Are you looking for resource control? Are you looking for whatever it is you are looking for? The stumbling block, what is standing between you and that thing you are looking for is the Constitution. Therefore, I plead with you to join hands with the NINAS, the Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination, to make sure that we pull through this constitutional force majeure. That is number one. Number two, quickly before I leave, Ade, is that the Constitution, the lifespan of the Constitution is renewed after every election. It is the election that renews the life of the Constitution. And it is the political parties that participate in election. So, if you, just like a tree, if you have a tree and you want to kill that tree, you go to the taproot and cut off the taproot. If you cut that taproot off, that tree will wither and die. Where am I going with this? We need to tell the political parties to stop. Because if we shut them down, there will be no election or electoral processes. And the life of the Constitution will not be renewed. And then we go to the proper process, the two-stage process I talked about. Therefore, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, even for our foreign partners watching, foreigners that are watching us, white men, white women, Americans, Britons, Europeans, wherever Asians that are watching us, please support us in taking down this constitution. Talk to your government, talk to your congressmen, let them understand that Nigeria is operating a fraudulent constitution that needs to go down, that all the problems in Nigeria are tied to the Nigerian constitution. And if this is not done, there will be a problem and it's going to affect your country. So the earlier you support us to take down this constitution, the better. Nigeria problem will be solved 100% the day we abolish and throw away this fraudulent 1999 constitution. Thank you very much, Ade, and God bless you.
I want to say a very big thank you to you, Dr. Clifford Iroanya. I really appreciate your time on the program today, and I'm sure it won't be long before I drag you back onto the platform, because to be sincere, I learned a lot from you today myself, because you managed to bring it down to a layman language. You are not using big grammar that most people would not be able to understand. Somebody was asking on the platform, how can we educate common people on the street in Nigeria I'm professional about the constitution and how to dissolve it. One of the way is to send them so many of our programs, and that would be very, very easy. I encourage them to subscribe to the channel. Encourage them to subscribe to other channels as well that are preaching the same gospels like us. Please, if you're new on this platform, say hi to me, and let me just acknowledge you and welcome you with the love of God so that we can initiate you into the platform properly. Please, like I said, please like, subscribe. Thank you, Dr. Clifford. You are well loaded. More wisdom, sir. That is from Festus Akinsoji. Yes, I know you're not new anymore. This is your second time. Temilade, you were here earlier on. Yeah. Have you subscribed to the channel? Please, if you haven't subscribed, please try and subscribe. Festus Akinsoji, thank you for coming. I really love you, and I show and express my love to all my new people. Henry, how are you doing, sir? Thank you for coming as well. To those few people on Facebook, I know a lot of people in England on Facebook. If you're joining me for the first time as well, oh, Ben Ajayi, thank you. Make sure you like the page, please, yeah, so that I can remember you. The good thing, I have a good memory. All this name I'm calling, when I see them again, that's when I know that Timlade was here earlier on. And I really appreciate every one of you guys. I love you, and I cannot do without you, because I cannot come here and make noise by myself. You have to be here for me to be here. If you're not here, I can't be here. If I'm doing this program and only one or two people are watching, there's no way I'm going to enjoy it. Yes, thank you. Henry, have you subscribed as well, please? Please try and subscribe. First off, make sure you subscribe as well. I really love you guys, and I want to make sure that every time I'm here, you are here too. There will be a couple of new programs tomorrow as well. Yomi is Yomi new? I'm not sure if Yomi is new. I'm not 100% sure. You see, I told you I always remember people's name. Mr. Day, how about the Fulani from Futajalon occupation? Don't worry. You know they're doing a runner already. They're running away already, because the time has come when the son of the soil needs the soil back. So they are picking race. On behalf of everybody watching, we thank Dr. Clifford today for educating us. It's a wonderful lecture, wonderful time I have. It's a brilliant time I have with you on the platform. Can I tell you one thing? Even though it's nearly 3 o'clock in UK where I am, and I've been up since 9 o'clock in the morning, I am not tired listening to you. Your presentation is not boring at all. I tell you, maybe when you're doing your dissertation, that's when you get all the skills on how to. Or maybe are you a preacher?
No, I'm an evangelist.
Okay, that's it. God-given talent. That is why you're using it, and you're using it in a way that is helping a lot of people. Once again, I thank everybody on the platform. New, old, whether you're young, whether you're old, please let's remember to pray for Mr. Sunday. Don't worry, Mr. Sunday has been prayed for. Mr. Sunday will not even go to war, because the people he wanted to fight has done a runner. The only thing is that all the other ones in the forest needs to run, and they are running. The people that needs to send them away are doing a good job. The governors are doing a good job. If you don't know, the governors, including Makinde and Akiridulu, and the other ones who are doing it on the ground. You know how they say, when you want to fight your enemy, you don't fight without brain. This is what we're doing now. We're fighting with brain, technically on the platform, technically with the brain, with the force majeure, technically with all the ranting and para that is going on back home in Nigeria. You need my number. My number is +44 734 1234560. That is sorry. Let me just try again. +44 734 1234560. That is the number. Our Oduduwa t-shirt is available. The Biafran t-shirts is now available as well We're doing Biafran t-shirts as well now. So please, if you want to help Heritage, you need to buy your t-shirt. It is not something you have to wear on Rally Day alone. And the good thing is that it's not only one format we have now. We have different formats. We have the stone type. We have long sleeve. We have short sleeve. We have color. We have wood. We have white. We have sweatshirt. We have summer wear for it. T-shirts are not, our t-shirts are not boring anymore. With some, like the Yoruba Nation is written in gold, the green and white is printed, and they don't bleach. Fight with sense. That's correct, sir. Fight with sense. If you have not subscribed to the page, if you have not liked the page, if you have not liked the program, that's about 4 things you need to do. Like the page, subscribe to the page, press the bell, and make sure that every program comes away. On behalf of Clifford is a wonderful man with talent. Hold on, don't patronize him. Lawrence, behave yourself. Is he your friend or what? What about me? Am I not wonderful man and talented with talent? I'm only joking. I want to welcome. Hey, Lawrence, you're a newcomer. You're a JJC. I can smell you. You're a JJC. You haven't been here before. Let me know. Come on, because I haven't seen you before. So you are definitely a JJC. Johnny just come. Or LJC. Lawrence just come. So anyway, on behalf of everybody, what happened to Sunday Bo and Makinde, the Oyo governor? Nothing happened. Makinde is using his brain when he is doing the thing. Thank you very much. Bala Adelana, thank you. Thank you. Makinde is using his brain to do what he's supposed to do in a fashion way, so that it can deliver what he meant to deliver. The security of the people in the state is number one priority. So I want to thank everybody on the platform. Thank you for contributing. You see, I'm not ignoring people. I don't do it. Where we come from, we don't do it. I want to thank all the. Can we send the Igbo contact? No, we can't do that. We can't do that because it will be too much phone calls going to him, and it will not be a good idea. Then he won't be able to do his things anymore. And sometimes some people, my sister, you're not sleeping. Oh, I haven't sent your cap, your force majeure cap. I haven't sent it. The board come up with an idea to say one day next week or very soon we will be raising some finance for Heritage as well to support Heritage Television, and everybody that gave us money to a certain number to certain amount, they will get something. And what they're gonna get a cap and a t-shirt as well. So that is what we're planning to do for them to make sure that this happens. Sister Bumi, please send me your address again. I think it's gone down the lane. So I might need that your address again so that I can send the cap, the force majeure cap. When we have, if you want the force majeure as well, you can buy a force majeure cap from us. There are 2 types. The soft one is £7 and the hard one is £10. So if you want one, please, my number is there. You can get in touch with me. We post to everywhere in Europe as well. The only place we're not posting to is in Africa. I want to thank you on behalf. Okay, what about the pressure of nobody is arresting him. You want me to play that music? If you want me to play that music, let me know. I will play it as a closing thing. I will let my guest go now because he just ran back from work and he didn't even have his meal before I drag him out on the platform. Dr. Clifford, thank you very much. I will see you again next time, sir. God bless you.
Thank you.
So that's our guest today. What about the pressure of that one? Nobody's gonna arrest him. There's no point. He hasn't done anything wrong. As a freedom fighter, you have to break the rules. You have to break the law. If you are a freedom fighter and you're not breaking the law, you are not a freedom fighter. That is one thing I want you to hear today. One of our big daddy, our honorable Akin Oshintokun, came here today and said there are 2 types of freedom fighter. One is the militant one and one is the law-abiding one. Like, you know, the IRA in England, they have Sinn Féin and they have IRA. Sinn Féin is the law-abiding one, and IRA is the one that busa busa. You know what I mean by busa busa. So I want to thank everybody. If I have not mentioned your name, it's not because I'm too proud. Can I have a contact with Clifford? Say is what's up. Mr. Clifford, can I give people your contact? I believe so. You can contact Clifford through us, please. Contact Heritage and we will pass on your message. And if you send me your number, put I and Clifford behind it, then I'll send your number to Clifford, and Clifford will determine whether he wants. I'm sure he will want to contact you because he wants to educate as many people as possible. Again, I want to thank all of you for being wonderful, nice to me today on the show. If you have not subscribed, if you have not liked, 126 people watching, with the good job we did today, come on, I think we're gonna have 124 likes. Or you think we didn't do a good job? Or at least 114 likes. Maybe, you know, you cannot have what's happening today at Igongo? Nothing. The man done a runner. The Seriki has done a runner. Is done a runner. So there's nothing is happening there. Yeah. Nothing. Oduduwa land and the southern part of Nigeria is becoming, say, we don't live in the north, so we don't think. So thank you very much, Sister Nancy. I really appreciate that. Authentic Nancy. So some Nancy's are actually fake Nancy's. Is that what you're saying, my sister? This is the authentic one. So when I see you, I put a stamp, I say authentic Nancy. I want to thank everybody. And on this note, I will be calling it a day with you guys. Please have a very beautiful night. Don't have nightmare, and have a wonderful, and when I mean wonderful, I seriously mean wonderful, because I want you to have a wonderful night's sleep. Good night, and God bless you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the newly formed Ududuwa Nation.